Well, welcome to Focus Today. Tim Elbert, the Timinator, is in the house, and Tim heads up the Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway. You go on out Highway 62, you get off on Vilas Road and off to the right. You can't miss it. It's the place with all the beautiful hanging baskets, the absolutely perfect manicured lawn out front. I mean, what do you expect for a nursery, right? And he's kind of turned the studio into a nursery today. So everybody that calls in, your name's going to go in the hat for this beautiful geranium. I love that color. You know what? I bought that color for Peggy for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's what do you call that besides purple?
Besides purple? I don't know.
Purple.
That's a Martha Washington geranium, and you know there's a darker inside color and a lighter outside, and I don't know, purple.
Purple. Anyway, when you call in and ask Tim any gardening question you may have today, your name's going to go in the hat, and towards the end of the program, you could win that. And behind me is a beautiful hydrangea. This is absolutely vivid blue, and kind of matches our shirts. Did you get the memo on blue today?
Yeah, and, somebody said blue. So yeah.
That thing is absolutely gorgeous. Has a little bit of white tinge to it. And will this keep blooming?
Yeah, this is one of the endless summer hydrangeas. And so that will keep blooming all summer long.
Really?
So, yeah, they're fabulous. They'll come on kind of white, and then they start to turn blue. And to get that really, really sky blue look to it like that, you add the aluminum sulfate. It's the sulfur to turn it to blue, and the extra aluminum to get that real nice color like that.
Wow.
And but that'll keep going, and they just once they start to these blooms start to finish off, you just shear them back, and they just flush up and bloom again.
Really?
Yeah.
Plant it in the heat? Where do you plant this?
We like to see those in a little morning sun and some shade in the afternoon. The hot afternoon sun can be a little hard on them.
Okay.
So
give
them
water?
a little bit. Yeah,
Water?
they do take up quite a bit of water. So.
All right. Well, anyway, beautiful. All right. If you have any questions for Tim, the phone number is 776-5368, and your name will go in the hat for this Martha Washington geranium. Hi, Charlene. You're on the air with Tim. What's your question today?
Oh, I don't have a question. I have a comment.
Okay.
Back in the old days when my mother was a child and they lived out on the prairie, and even before they died, you used pickle juice. You saved your pickle juice in a big old jar, and you'd go out and pour it on your geraniums. Not your geraniums, your hydrangeas.
Right.
And they would turn color. They didn't have ammonia sulfate. They didn't have a garden center to go to.
Really?
They were out in the middle of nowhere. But how do you think they learned pickle juice would turn a hydrangea a different color? Do you suppose somebody just went out there and threw their pickle juice out there one day, and by golly, it turned blue or pink?
That's probably how it happened. Yeah,
Well,
probably somebody just dumped something on it and went, "Hey, what's going on here?" So
yeah. Well, remember that. Save your pickle juice, everybody.
There you go.
And you can pickle eggs, but it's better to put it on your hydrangea. But I have another a request if you take it. But I live in a retirement assisted living home called I can't even think of it right now. I'm on the Alderwood. I'm here in Central Point.
Oh, yeah, right.
It would be so nice of you, Tim, if you could come by with a plant to hang out front for these old ladies to sit there and nurture.
Oh.
They've got a tomato plant that is their child, and it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
Oh.
I'm only 71, and I'm kind of trying to keep happy. And when I watch these people that sit there out front day after day after day, if they had something they could nurture,
all right,
like something, come on out.
All right, you call back and give Sue your phone number, will you?
Okay, I did already.
Okay, thank you, Charlene.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so pickle juice. There went your ammonium sulfate sales.
That's my sales.
That was a nice one.
Yeah, it stands to reason. Vinegar, of course, is very acidic.
There we go. Everybody's saving their pickle juice now, putting it on their hydrangea. Well, hey, that's great. You learned something today.
Yes.
All right, good morning to you. Hi, Shirley. I don't know. Do deer eat these things? Is that what you want to know?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Shirley.
Yes, I have kind of two questions.
All right.
One's kind of a irrigation question. I have gravity-fed flow to irrigate my flowers and whatnot. And I want to put a little spigot on it that wise. And is there any timer that isn't related on, pressure that I could just, it just opens up at a certain time and closes off and for irrigation? And if so, where would I find that? And my question is, do deer eat hydrangeas?
Deer love hydrangeas.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah, that one's not going to be deer resistant at all.
Okay.
And as far as a non-pressure type valve, I'm not sure that there is anything. All of the ones that I know of, they use the water pressure to the water is moves from one side of a diaphragm to another, and that's what changes that to open and close those valves. So I don't know what the minimum pressure is on all of them, but I know that almost all of them that are on the automatic type of a thing they do use pressure. So that would be a good question. You might check with one of the irrigation supply places and see if they have anything.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks, Shirley. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to, hi, Mandy. What's going on with your blueberries?
Oh, I was wondering if there were still blueberries at the nursery.
Yes, we still have some blueberries. Running a little short, but we do have some.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you still have those pink ones?
Last time I checked, there was, I think, 2 of them left.
Ooh, excellent. Oh, boy, I'm so excited. And those go in sun or shade, or where would I plant those?
I like to put those in morning sun and afternoon shade.
Okay.
They need a little bit of sunlight to get those berries going, but the hot afternoon sun in our valley is a bit too much for them. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's a bit too much for me, too. So.
It is for me, too. I like a little shade in the afternoon, too.
Yeah, maybe a nice beverage.
Cold glass of lemonade, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mandy.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I didn't know there was a pink blueberry.
Yeah, I'm not so sure you can call it a blueberry. It's pink, but it is blueberry.
Okay.
And
Tastes like a blueberry?
yeah, everything's just like a blueberry except it's pink. They call it pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade.
Yeah.
All right. Is it Bryle or Burl? Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Burl.
Okay, Burl. Hi. Go ahead. What's your question?
Yes, I would like to know if it's too late to plant a Swiss chard.
Yeah, it's a bit on the late side. You could probably plant some and get a small crop off of it. But when it starts to get hot, that tends to go to seed and then doesn't produce those nice big leaves like we like to see. So, you could try a little bit of it, maybe in the cooler part of the garden, get somewhat of it to produce. But your best shot would be wait till fall. And you can seed it in probably September and get a really nice crop that you can keep all winter long.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hi, Brian. What's going on with your aspen trees?
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Well, Tim sold me this aspen tree a long time ago, but it never came with any warranty or any instructions.
Oh, it did. Kind of like kids, huh?
You know, it is like kids. But I don't want. It's trying to make me a grandparent all over my lawn. I mean, 60, 70 feet away from this tree are aspen trees growing right in the middle of my lawn. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Well, mow them. The aspen is a type of poplar, so they are going to naturally want to send up new shoots anywhere where they have a root system. Typically in your lawn, you're shallow watering your lawn, so you're going to end up with some shallow roots from your trees in that lawn as well. And so that's going to cause more suckers developing, and et cetera. There's really not much you can do about it other than just to keep them mowed down, and that usually discourages them. But that's about all you can do.
Okay.
There's, to spray them would be to cause damage to your tree, and to try to dig them out would also cause damage because they are attached to a root system.
Well, I knew there wasn't a good answer, but I appreciate your honesty.
Hey, Brian?
Yeah.
Register them all to vote or something, you know?
Thanks for the help.
Okay, see you, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, good morning to you. Our good buddy, Mr. Intimidator is with us today, and taking your phone call, 776-5368. And when you call in, your name's going to have for this beautiful Martha Vineyard.
Martha Washington.
Oh, Martha Vineyard. Martha Washington geranium. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, Ken, you're next. What's going on?
Well, I've got kind of a two-part question with regard to hydrangeas.
Okay.
I've heard, number one, that coffee grounds do well at the base of your hydrangeas for their health. I don't know if that's true or not. And also, you spoke earlier about the orientation of them regarding early morning sun and afternoon shade. Mine are south-facing, and here in Medford, the orientation of the sun, you really can't get a whole lot of afternoon shade that often. So is there anything I can do to help them to grow better than they seem to have been doing the past 8 or 10 years?
Well, if they're still alive after 8 or 10 years, that's a pretty good thing. They are. That means they're not. It's not so bad that they're dying off or anything like that. So it's just you're probably experiencing some summer damage to the foliage, things like that. Mostly that's going to be cosmetic. It's not a huge issue, but other than planting something to shade them or standing out there in the hot sun holding something up there to shade them, which not so sure that's a great idea. But anyways, there's not a lot you can do. The coffee grounds is, again, coffee grounds are acidic, so that's going to help them turn blue as well. So definitely some things you can do.
Okay. All right, thanks, Ken.
Right, thanks.
Okay. All right, 776-5368 if you want to talk to Tim Elbert. Hi, Rita. What's going on with your peonies?
Oh, good morning. No, it's not my peony. It's my neighbor's.
Oh.
She has a peony that a color I have never seen before. It's the most brilliant yellow.
Okay.
And it's in full sun.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to get one.
Well, come down and get one.
You have yellow ones?
We do. The Ito peonies, they're fairly new out, but they come in some amazing colors, and there's a couple of beautiful yellow ones. And I don't think there's many yellows left at the nursery, but they are stunning. Big flowers on real sturdy plants, and they're just gorgeous. They are blooming right now, too. It was kind of a toss-up. Do I bring a peony down today or the hydrangea? But the peonies are considerably larger.
But,
so
that yellow one is just gorgeous, and I was surprised that it's taking full sun all day.
Yeah, they can take quite a bit of sun. Most peonies actually can take the hot sun. I've got some in my landscape in front of my yard that are in full-on sun, and they'll handle that. We do keep them in the shade at the nursery just because in containers they're not so much sun hardy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right,
I'll
welcome.
be down to get one.
All right. Thank you, Rita. Let's see if we can squeeze in Dale before the break. Hi, Dale. What's going on with your hydrangea?
Hey, we're just wondering about potting hydrangea. How, Miracle Grow soil or... And then the other thing is, okay, Tim, I see you now.
Are you watching on TV?
Yeah.
Did you just watch him do that? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
good.
I'll take it out.
No. He just doesn't like the product Miracle Grow.
And then the other thing is carrying it over after the season ends.
Okay.
For next year.
Yeah, the hydrangeas are definitely easy to keep from season to season. You can keep them in containers. There's a few varieties that are more small, compact varieties that do better in containers, but they're not going to be the all-season bloomers like the endless summer. But you can keep those in containers in the endless summer as well, and they do just fine. As far as potting soil goes, I definitely like my potting soil the best. It's Northwest Best potting soil, and I like to get a potting soil without fertilizer so that I can make the adjustments in the fertilizer myself. I'm kind of a control freak that way.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Dale.
All right.
Control freak. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So is this a confessional, too, while we're doing this show? All right. Join us, 776-5368. Your name's going to go in the hat. Somebody's going to get this beautiful Martha Washington geranium, and we're going to give that away around the end of the program. So call us and be a part of the program with your question with Tim Elbert. We'll be right back.
Airport, the only name you need to know.
I do a lot of shopping in Medford, and I'm so glad that Airport now carries Buick.
Airport supports our community, and that's why I support them.
I appreciate airportchevy.com. I got to see everything I needed before I drove down.
Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Why are you still sitting on that couch? You know you could be out there cooking for a living. You speak food. That's why you got to call Le Cordon Bleu. They'll help get you out there with training in less time than you think. Sounds good, right? So grab your phone right now and call Le Cordon Bleu. They'll send you a complimentary career guide so you can see what it's really like to work in the culinary arts.
Call 1-800-761-0650 or text GOLCB25 to 94576. Call or text now.
Did you call yet?
For the greenest of lawns and amazing gardens.
The Grange knows.
For happy pets, backyard birds, and that perfect gift.
The Grange knows.
For the ranch and the farm. Or a great pair of jeans.
The Grange knows.
For helpful advice, come to the experts that know, or find Floyd online anytime. Grange Co-op.
Let's grow.
In a world of increasing complexity, it's getting harder to stay on top of the ideas that shape our world. From technology to worldviews, social commentator Mal Fletcher breaks down the facts and takes a fresh look at the most pressing problems of our time.
Political correctness tries to legislate tolerance. In the wake of scientists like Darwin, many people have grown up thinking of science as a no-God zone. Obesity is another major health issue facing our kids today.
Edges, 9:30 Saturday on the Dove TV.
This is the first truck I've ever bought, and I'm now a fan of Airport.
We shopped 2 other dealerships in Medford, and Airport had the best deal.
The financing was easy.
The service department has a great shuttle. They take you where you need to go and pick you up, too.
Airport, the only name you need to know.
All right, we're talking plants and gardening and fertilizer and spraying and bugs and beautiful flowers. So in front of us this morning we have this Martha Washington geranium, and we're going to give that away coming up around the end of the program. So everybody that calls in, your name goes in the hat for a drawing for that beautiful geranium. It's kind of purple. And then behind me is an absolutely exquisite hydrangea. And what do you call this? Summerfest?
Endless Summer.
Endless Summer. Okay.
Yes.
Boy, that thing is just gorgeous. So anyway, give us a call. Your name will go in the hat, and who knows? We'll see what happens at the end of the program. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, Jenny. You're on the air. What's going on?
Hi. I have a question about hanging baskets, and I know Tim's the expert. I need to know what to feed them and to keep them looking their best, and how often do you feed them?
Okay. We use a product put out by Fertilum called Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Food. Okay. And it's a liquid fertilizer. It's a powder you mix with water. And we do that into our containers. We fertilize them weekly. We suggest at 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. And you want to mix up enough to soak the soil. So on a big basket, like our big city baskets that we do, that can be up to 4 or 5 gallons at a time. Mm-hmm. So you want to thoroughly soak that soil with that fertilizer. And that seems to work pretty good. The aggressive plants like Surfinias, the big verbenas, those we do at 2 tablespoons per gallon. Some of the smaller things, the million bells, the bacopas, those kinds of things, you can get by with a tablespoon per gallon with that.
Do you think the bacopas, do those bloom in the all summer, or are those mostly a spring bloomer?
Oh, the bacopas will go all summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, as far as anything else goes, with our big petunias, we use a borer. It's called borer bagworm tent caterpillar leaf miner spray. Yeah, Spinosad.
I'm going to get a job naming plant products.
Yeah, somebody needs to. Anyways, the active ingredient is spinosad, so we just call it spinosad. But it's an all-natural product that controls those budworms, and that can be a real problem with petunias and geraniums through the summertime. So we spray that on there on a weekly basis to keep that down. And then as far as any other insects go, just as needed, if we start to see some aphid problems or mite problems, then we'll go ahead and use a product called neem pie. It's a neem oil pyrethrin combination. and all natural, safe to use, and does great on those other items.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right,
welcome.
thank you, Jenny. 776-5368 if you want to join the conversation with Tim Elbert. Hi, Janet, what's going on with your black oak?
Well, I bought it from the Master Gardener Fair about a week or two ago, and I still haven't planted it. I've been watering it. But my husband wants me to plant it in a pot first, since we have a dog, and he doesn't want him to destroy it. And so I was just wondering, I have a big pot that I use for a tomato plant, but I was concerned if I planted in that, how I'm going to get it out when it gets roots.
Well, the black oaks have a very sensitive root system, and they don't like to be transplanted.
Okay.
So my suggestion would be go directly into the ground with it.
Okay.
Rather than into another container. That just increases the chances of it not taking for you.
Okay.
So I would suggest get it in the ground and maybe fence it off from the dog.
Okay.
And that would be your best shot.
And our soil is Phoenix, and it's bad. It's really bad clay. What should I put around it?
Well, definitely use your clay. That's going to be important. It's going to have to get into that anyways. But take that clay and mix it half and half with a good compost.
Okay.
And then just mix that up as best you can. Dig the hole extra wide.
Okay.
You can go a little extra deep too. Just make sure that when you plant that in there that you're not sinking it down too deeply.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what is it, 2 or 3 times wide, and then how deep?
You want to go twice as wide and just slightly deeper.
Slightly deeper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Janet.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
And, she's gone. I was thinking, and then when you're done planting it in the ground, you can call us and we'll give you Patrick Doyle's phone number for marital counseling.
I like causing
just
problems.
Kidding.
I love it.
All right, just kidding. Hi, Peggy. What's going on with your bamboo?
Well, my daughter bought a home this winter on a city-type lot. Has a beautiful bamboo on a property line with the neighbors. We're not quite sure who owns the bamboo. But now this past week it's shooting up out into her lawn 30 feet from the property line, and the shoots are 2 feet tall. And they just mowed the lawn last weekend, and now these shoots are coming up everywhere.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Sell the house, move. The bamboo is, we've solved the issue of whose bamboo it is. It's yours now. Anyways, bamboo is not an easy one to get rid of, especially in a lawn, because there's nothing you can spray on it that won't kill the lawn that would still kill off the bamboo. So, the only thing you can do is just to dig it out. That's really the only alternative you have. It's that or sudden and complete death to everything. Yeah.
Dig out the shoots or dig out the fence line where it's coming
you
from.
can dig out the shoots, and then next week you can dig them out again. The bamboo does send out runners underground and will come up in different areas throughout the yard. And, try to warn people about that. We do sell some bamboo. It's a very popular plant for us, but, we caution people, keep it in containers or in a contained area in the ground so that you don't end up having that problem. But yes, it can be a real issue.
Is there a barrier that we can bury along the fence line, keep it back at the fence?
Yeah, you can use galvanized metal 2 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go. In other words, it ain't going to be a fun project.
It's not fun. It's not easy. It's probably easier just to dig it out and get rid of it.
Yeah, but it's their neighbors. She has the shoots, the neighbor has the plant.
The neighbor has the plant.
Have the neighbor over for a barbecue and do a little negotiating.
Witness.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Peggy.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Lori. Hi, Lori. You got a hydrangea with some yellow leaves?
Yes, I planted a hydrangea about 6 years ago. It's a pink one. I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
But it's always had yellow leaves with just a little bit of green. So I'm not sure why. It just looks weird. Everything else in my garden has green foliage except this one hydrangea, and it just stands out.
Well, there are some varieties of hydrangea that have some colored foliage. In fact, we have some down at the store that are they are a variegated leaf one. They are bright, just super bright yellow. and they have a little bit of green in the center. That's that is a variegated leaf form. It's very obviously a variegated leaf form. So what you're talking about sounds like it doesn't look like it should be this color. You can try adding a little iron to the soil. That could help, even as much as I hate to say this, but coffee grounds. You could try that and see how well that works. But those are some things that may end up increasing that the greenness in your foliage.
Okay, and as far as iron, are you talking like a nail or two in the soil?
You could do that, but that's going to be a little slower acting. I would get some chelated iron. We do sell that by the bag down at the store. And just sprinkle that around and water that in. That'll act a lot faster. You should see results with that within a week or so. If you tried nails, it might take a few months.
All right, then.
Okay. All right, thanks, Lori. All right, 776-5368 is the phone number. And everybody that calls in, your name's going in the hat for a drawing with this beautiful geranium here. All right, Steve, what's going on with your ficus tree?
Well, it greens up and does real nice with leaves, and then not all, but a lot of the leaves start turning brown and falling off. And we've tried different fertilizer and different watering techniques, and we've had it for 15 years, so I guess we're doing something right. But my wife wants to know, is there a good fertilizer for that?
Well, yeah, you can use the same one that we use for our baskets, the geranium hanging basket pansy fertilizer. Works great on houseplants, too. We use that at the store at our houseplants, and seems to work really well. I'm not so sure, though, that it's a water fertilizer issue. There could be it sounds like you might be having a problem with scale. If you're leafing out and everything's looking beautiful and then leaves start falling off, generally that's scale. So look real closely along the stems and see if you see any little bumps. They'd be just kind of little hard-shelled bumps. You can usually just kind of flick them off with your fingernail. If you're seeing anything like that, that's scale. Look also on the bottom sides or the undersides of the leaves and see if you see any on those too. That, again, a good sign of scale, and you'll need to treat that with a probably like neem oil.
Okay.
Yeah. So look at that first. Make sure you don't have a problem with scale. If that's not the issue, you might just gather up a few leaves, put them in a plastic baggie, and bring them down to the nursery. Please, in a sealed plastic baggie. And just so we can make sure, but maybe trim off a small branch, and then we'll take a look at that, see if there's anything else going on.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Okay. 776-5368. Hi, Jan. What's your question today?
Yes, two things. I've heard that there's going to be a freeze, and I just got done planting my tomatoes, peppers, and basil. I live between Talent and Ashland, kind of in a low spot. I'm wondering if I should cover them. And also, I have a big problem with fiddlebugs this year. What do they do? How do they fly? Do they climb? What do they do?
Well,
and how do I get rid of them organically?
Okay. Well, first of all, as far as frost goes, if what's that?
I don't think I've heard that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either. But if you're in a low spot in between Talent and Ashland,
it could be.
Yeah, you could have something, somewhat of a threat there. And if there is any sort of a threat, definitely cover. As far as spittlebugs go, they're going to be very seasonal. As soon as the temperatures begin to warm and dry, they're going to be gone. So I wouldn't really worry too much about them. You can hose them down with a hose. That'll help discourage them. They're not causing a huge amount of damage. They are a type of aphid, but I wouldn't really worry about it. They're going to be gone in another month or so anyways.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jan. Let me take a quick break. Tim Elbert's with us, and somebody's going to win this Martha Washington geranium. It's absolutely gorgeous. So let us know. You can call in. The phone number is 776-5368. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tim the Timinator from Four Seasons Nursery. Thank you for watching and supporting the Dove and Christian Broadcasting. Like the folks at the Dove, we at Four Seasons value honesty, integrity, and quality. So if you're looking for great garden products such as vegetables, flowers, shrubs, or trees, come by and check us out. I'm sure you'll find the success you're looking for.
Four Seasons Nursery, half a mile north of Vilas Road on Crater Lake Avenue.
Oh, wow! Letters stand for Oregon Women of the Word. It is a biblical conference that we give once a year, and you need to bring your Bible because you will open it.
Denominational barriers are dropped.
It's close.
I've made many friends.
It's affordable.
I enjoyed Kari a lot. I got a lot out of her teaching.
For seminar details, go to OregonWomenOfTheWord.org.
I'm a watercolor artist, and I have to take my paintings to galleries everywhere, including the Rogue Gallery and Art Center. So, of course, I love my Subaru. I just lay down the back seat, and these babies slide right in. I used to drive a Toyota, but my Subaru has more room, is quiet, and gets better highway mileage. I'm Barbara, and that's what makes a Subaru my Subaru.
Southern Oregon Subaru on Biddle Road, Medford.
I love my Subaru.
Hello and welcome to the Marriage Course.
Love always means making a sacrifice for the sake of another.
Michelle, aged 10, replied, "It is never okay to kiss a boy. They always slobber all over you."
We'll be looking at how any of us can build a healthy marriage, whether you've been together a short time or for many years.
The Marriage Course, Wednesdays at 9 and Fridays at 8 on the Dove TV.
We are talking gardening, and we have the pro here. His name's Tim Elbert. He heads up the Four Seasons Nursery out on Highway 62, and you go out and get off on Vilas Road, go up a little bit, you'll see the nursery off to the right. Absolutely gorgeous. Those watching on Dove TV, you'll see the Martha Washington geranium. If you're listening on the Dove radio, I can tell you it's absolutely beautiful, and somebody's going to win this geranium coming up in a little bit. All you have to do is call, ask a question, your name will go in the hat. Behind us is the
endless summer hydrangea.
Oh, it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're listening to the radio and you want to know what color it is, go outside and look up at the sky.
Okay.
There you go.
That it is a vivid blue. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, back to the phones. Hi, Lindy. What's up?
Hey, I just have a really quick question. I'm wondering about mulching with straw. My husband insists on saving the straw year after year, and it smells like mold. And I don't think that's healthy. And he's using it in a vegetable garden.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, this time I'm going to have to side with your husband. The straw may get a little on the moldy side, but it's nothing that's going to harm your plants. It's just decay that's going on in the straw. And that's a good thing. As that straw begins to break down, it is going to release some nutrients into the soil. And straw makes a great cover for helping prevent weeds and stuff from growing. You just have to make sure you're not getting any seed with it, because sometimes the seed you get a little seed left in there, and you end up with grasses and stuff growing up that you probably didn't want to begin with.
Right.
But yes, we used to use straw all the time when I was growing up as a kid in our vegetable garden along the pathways and things.
Right. Okay, well, I don't mind that you're siding with my husband. I was just worried about the mold, and I'm glad that it's not a problem because he doesn't show any signs of stopping using the old straw.
Should be fine.
All right.
I feel safe, and he can mulch.
There you go.
Right on.
All right, thanks, Lindy. All right, let's go to... Whoa! Hey, Tom, are you there? Are you there, Tom?
Ask my question, get off the phone because my truck's noisy, but I got 12 acres blueberries and bushes I just planted. How wet should I keep them, and what kind of food should I give them, and do you have any idea what they'll produce? Did you hear my question?
Yeah, we got it. All right, thanks, Tom. Wow,
12 acres of blueberries. That's a lot of blueberries.
Quick, open up a bakery.
Yeah, blueberries are very acid loving, and so you want to make sure that you're fertilizing them with an acid fertilizer. For people who have just a few of them at home, there's the same kind of fertilizer you would use on your azaleas and rhododendrons. That's what you can use. Mm-hmm. You're talking acres of stuff. I'm sure you're going to want to pick up something more commercial, be a little bit more economical for that size of an area, but definitely an acid loving. Blueberries also like to be kept moist, not soggy wet, but moist. And so keeping on a drip system works really good. And that's the way I would suggest on large scale like that. There are ways to do that, and you can save a little water by using drip. Going up into the Willamette Valley, where they grow acres and acres and acres of blueberries, they use fresh sawdust around them, and that helps to acidify that soil. Now they're already in the Willamette Valley. You already have an acidic soil, and they're still adding fresh sawdust as to acidify the soil even more. Okay. So that'll tell you how much they like that pH to be way down.
Do you prune those?
Yes,
you do.
Generally, the blueberries are produced on new growth as it begins to grow in the spring, and so pruning, we know, stimulates growth. Right. So taking out some of the older, heavier branches and letting some of the younger ones come up and grow definitely is a good thing.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Kathy, hi. What's going on with your roses?
Okay, I heard you guys talking about a mixture of Epsom salt and something.
Oh.
Can't remember what it was.
Alfalfa meal.
Right. Alfalfa meal?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
It is, it might be a little late now, but...
Yeah, you could still put it on there. It's going to still give you a benefit. Alfalfa meal is a great source of organic nitrogen. It also has a natural growth stimulant in it. So when you put that on there, it's got a little natural hormone that forces the plant into a growth stage. So you can use that even this time of year. But your best benefit is real early, right after you finish your last pruning and your last dormant spraying. That's when you want to get that on there, and you'll have your best benefit that way.
And is it just once a year?
Yeah, usually just once a year. But like I said, you could continue to use the alfalfa meal. The Epsom salt you don't want to keep doing, just maybe once a year on the Epsom salt. But the alfalfa meal you could continue on a regular basis if you wanted to organically fertilize your roses. But you just don't, you're not going to realize the benefit of it as much in the summertime as you would in that very, very early stage.
Usually around the middle of February.
Right.
Okay, and that would be, what do you mean by regular? Every couple of weeks?
Usually monthly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
By the way, Peggy's roses are now blooming. That first bloom of the season. They are spectacular.
Yeah, that early rain that we had.
Yeah.
And now with the sun coming out and getting some really good sunshine, there are a lot of things that are blooming really well.
Well, she did the miracle combination, the Epsom salt and the alfalfa meal, and now the first harvest, the first blooms. I mean, they are over the top beautiful.
Stunning, yeah.
All right, hi, Pamela. What's going on with? You got a bamboo solution.
Yes, sir, I do.
What is it?
Okay, now you got to realize there's two different kinds of Roundup. There's Roundup for grass, and then there's Roundup for other, stronger. Okay, so I have bamboo coming up in my backyard from a neighbor, okay? So I cut it off. I mean, this was a brand new shoot, maybe 8 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I cut it off, and there was like maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of a void, like a tube. And I used the Roundup that foams, and guess what? It killed it, okay? So this year I have a few more, and guess what? It kills it. But it has to be the stronger Roundup, and, I filled the little cup thingy, I didn't spray the tubing, I filled it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right.
And it did work. It does work.
So did it go under the fence and kill your neighbor's bamboo on the other side?
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the thing is, if you cut the root, okay, you're possibly making tubes when you cut that root.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Pamela.
Okie doke.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Well, okay. Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
What's up?
I have a two-part question. I have limited space where I live, so I grow my garden in pots. So I wondered, what's the smallest pot for tomato plants that I could get away with?
Well, that would depend, I think, on the type of tomato. Most varieties of tomatoes, I like to go a 10-gallon size nursery pot or larger. and you can get some decent fruiting out of that. Some of the smaller varieties of tomatoes, the determinate tomatoes, the ones that they'll grow to a certain point, stop growing, and then start producing.
Okay, you mean like a cherry tomato or something like that?
Yeah, some of the well, they're not the smaller fruiting, but the smaller sized plants.
Oh, okay.
They would go in a as small as a 5-gallon container.
Okay, thank you so much. And I also remember when I was little, my mother using like coffee grounds or ashes and stuff like that in her garden. How do you feel about that? And would coffee grounds be good for the tomato plant?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever used coffee grounds around my tomatoes. I like my tomatoes to be a little more alkaline. So I'm going to use a little bit of lime, maybe some bone meal in with those, but not usually any coffee grounds. And I'm sure somebody's going to call up and say, I use it around my tomatoes just fine. So there's probably, you can probably do that. But like I said, I like my tomato plants to be a little bit more on the alkaline side. I think they do better.
And what about ashes? Do you ever use ashes in a garden?
Yeah, I like to use the ashes in the fall. I'm sorry, in the winter time. I put put wood ashes out onto the garden till that end. It's a good source of potassium.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
All right,
I'm at
you're
your
welcome.
website. I'm checking out the Floyd part of your website, but you beat him to the punch here. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Valerie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, 776-5368. Tim Elbert's in the house and giving counseling here today. Liza, hi. What's going on with your canna lilies?
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
I'm feeling a little dyslexic because I'm listening to you on the phone and watching you on the TV, and there's that delay.
Oh, yeah.
It's really weird. Okay, so somebody gave me pink canna lilies. I don't know what color pink, but they're in kind of clayish, the lumps, the bulbs. Okay. But I have had calla lilies in the past and always put them in looser soil, and I'd like to put these in a pot. What do you think I can do?
Oh, they'll grow fine in a pot. Yeah.
And should I put some peat and all that? Because do they like a looser soil?
They'll grow in just about anything. I've had canna lilies growing in clay soil, in soggy, wet, marsh-like conditions. And I've had them growing in straight potting soil in a well-drained pot. So the one thing about cannas is they don't like to be dry. So make sure if you're using a looser soil that you keep them moist, water them regularly.
Okay, and then are they like the callas where they like shade?
No, they like the sun.
They like the sun.
Yeah,
okay.
Very different from a calla.
All right, and by the way, if you pull my name out of the hat, I want you to take your rake or your magic wand and turn your Martha Washington geranium into a hanging basket and give it to that lady in the assisted living facility.
That's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Well, we're gonna work on that.
We're gonna work on that one.
I figured you would.
It may come with a big sign, but we're gonna work on that.
Well, they can get a second one. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Liza.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's Marie. Hi. What's going on?
Can you give me tips on how to keep an arborvitae healthy in the big giant pot that they're in?
Yes, plant them.
Well, I can't. I'm an RVer, and a lot of us in this economy are so mobile. It's whatever we plant gets left behind. So
yeah. Well, the arborvitaes, once they reach a certain point, they're not going to be great in a container. So if you've got big ones in containers, other than going into a bigger pot, not much I can do for you on that. Definitely keep them watered well and fed well. Use there's a slow release fertilizer called Start and Grow that's put out by Fertilum. It's a 3 to 4 month fertilizer, and you could use that on them, and that'll keep them going. But if that's not working, probably the only chance you're going to have of it surviving is to bigger pot or in the ground.
Well, they've done well, except last year I called you, was over in Talent Bend, and they got a white moth in them that I battled. But I'm over closer to Jacksonville. Maybe this ag area doesn't have white moths. I don't know.
Well, last year was a bad case of them. All right.
Was it?
Yeah. Thanks, Betty. Oh, no, excuse me. Marie, I'm sorry. All right. Let me take a quick break. We're out of time. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. The phone number is 776-5368. Your name will go in the hat for the beautiful Martha Washington geranium. So give us a call.
So here we go again. Oh yeah, hanging out with all the friends. Let's do this. Living for the weekend. Wishing that I never dance.
Coming May 18th to the NAS, A Taste of Summer Music Fest 2012, an event that will take you on a journey from a relaxing beach to the most extreme sounds of summer. Here, take a listen.
Sundown. Everything's gonna be alright, yeah. As we're dancing in the sunlight. Yesterday, today, forever. All may change, but you will never.
See, there's something for everyone. And if that's not enough excitement, we will be giving away a free iPad and apparel package to one lucky ticket holder. Tickets available at all Evangel store locations at the NAS and online at 4dspicks.com. Proceeds from this event will benefit Impact Athletics of Southern Oregon. Diadem and Pure Vintage Apparel will be on hand to outfit you in the latest gear. Once again, May 18th at the NAS. One night, 4 bands, music for all ages. Doors open at 6, entertainment starts at 6:30. Bring your friends and we'll see you there.
So shine on down.
There's one place you can go every morning for the latest information and weather. It's 11 and a half now past the hour. Well, we just got a few minutes left for you to get your question in and get your name in the hat for this beautiful Martha Washington geranium that we're going to give away here in a few moments. Behind me is an absolutely beautiful, vivid blue hydrangea. And, boy, I tell you, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. You have these and others?
Yes.
Or are they primarily all blue?
They're all of this type are all blue. There's another one called Blushing Bride. It's the Endless Summer series, but it comes on white, and then as the flowers age, they turn pink. And so that's a really cool one.
The Blushing Bride.
Blushing Bride, yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, let's go back to the phones. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
Thanks for waiting. What's up?
Well, I want to know if Tim has a daughter named Brittany.
I do.
Well, my little grandson was over Sunday, and he told me that he'd been looking for a Venus flytrap for over a year. And I said, I know who to call. So we called Four Seasons, and Brittany answered the phone.
Yes.
And she was so nice. And yes, she had him, and Stephen got all excited. How much, Grandma, how much? And she told me, oh, that was in his price range. And anyway, I stopped by Tuesday. I had an appointment in Medford, and another daughter who said Brittany was her sister helped me, and she was so nice. And she gave me tips and told me things to tell Stephen, and she said, you tell him if he has any questions, he can call us. I mean, she was just super. You've got great people down there, and I just had to say that.
Well, thank you.
You don't have a couple of boys, do you?
Yeah. They're both single, by the way. So.
Well, my single son's probably a little too old for those two.
Well, send the resume in anyway. Thanks, Betty.
I'd love to have either one of them for a daughter-in-law.
Oh, great. Thanks, Betty.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, Four Seasons is family run, right?
It is.
Has been for what?
Oh, ever since we opened up. Goodness, we've been 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Hi, Mary. What's going on with your golden oak pods?
What? My husband and I, a few years ago, bought that oak down at Four Seasons at your place. Mm-hmm. And what it's doing, it's turned out to be a beautiful tree, but it's dropping all these pods. And I don't recall it doing that so much. they look like little helicopter things, and my neighbors are still talking to me, but they're really getting to be bad. I don't know if that's a normal thing or it's matured or what. I thought maybe you could help me.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fact that it's producing seed is a normal thing.
I see.
You may end up with one year being worse than others or better than others, or however you might want to say that. But anyways, there may be more seed production one year than another just due to the weather more than anything else.
I see.
That's typical of just about any tree.
Okay, well, it's a beautiful tree, and it was a great purchase, and thank you so much.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 776-5368 if you want to talk to Tim. Jennifer, hi. What's going on with your roses?
Well, a friend of mine gave me this recipe. She's always cutting things out of magazines, so I got to figure out why these things are in here and if it's worth doing. So it has 2 tablespoons of instant tea granules, a tablespoon of red wine, a half a teaspoon of fish emulsion, a teaspoon of dissolved baking powder, a teaspoon of iron, and a gallon of warm water.
Okay.
So is it worth it?
Well, I can think of cheaper and easier ways to do things, but I would imagine that the science is there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's a lot of mixing. I mean, I think, if you didn't have anything in the cupboards, other than that kind of stuff, then sure, go for it. But like I said, there's cheaper and easier ways to do that.
Well, her other choice is Miracle Grow, so I'm trying to convince her to get away from that.
Well, if it's for roses, take a look. Well, this time.
I already put the mixture on her roses.
Good. Okay, good. You'll be okay.
She tries to find all this other stuff. So
sure.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right, Darlene, hi. What's going on with potatoes and tomatoes?
Well, I already have potatoes growing in a container, and I have a little more room in a container, and I was wondering about putting a tomato in with them.
I don't see why not, if you've got enough room.
I've got enough room.
Not so sure if there's enough room root system-wise. Potatoes are going to start producing their tubers, and that's going to take up a lot of soil space.
Well, I'm hoping they produce a lot of tubers.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So if you put a tomato in there, you may not have a lot of root system left over for your tomato.
I think something about a cherry tomato or a little pear tomato.
Yeah, they get to be big bushes.
Do you have any of those?
Yes, we do.
I'm going to have to come by and see you.
All righty.
All right,
and
thanks.
I agree with the lady that said you have a great staff down there. I've really enjoyed them.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Darlene. Bye-bye. All right, let's see. Well, we got a little time left. We can squeeze in a few more. Hi, Patsy. What's going on with your hydrangea?
Well, I heard someplace that if you put if it has alkaline soil, they're one color, and if you have acidic soil, it's another color. And ours are always pink. One year they were blue, and I can't get them to get blue again.
Well, yes, your soil is more alkaline then. If you're getting the pinks. So to get them blue, you're going to want to acidify the soil. Now, if you were to put stuff down now, it's not going to change the flowers that are on right now. It will change the flowers for next year. So definitely acidify the soil this spring and even in the fall, and do it again. We like to use the aluminum sulfate. Because you can get that in a bag at Four Seasons Nursery. But, or you can choose one of the other options that we've talked about.
Pickle juice.
Yeah, it says pickle juice and coffee grounds and things like that. So, yeah, you can help to acidify your soil whichever way you want. But definitely got to lower that pH, make it acidic, and you'll get the blue flowers.
Okay, what did you say about aluminum?
Aluminum sulfate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Betsy.
Appreciate it.
All right, 776-5368. And Corinne, what's going on with your canna lilies?
Well, actually, I don't have any canna lilies right now, but I'm looking for a tall plant that I could plant in the full sun. And I heard you talking about canna lilies and how tall they get, but do the plants stay on all year long?
They'll die out in the winter. They freeze down to the ground in the winter. Yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hi, Stephanie. What's going on with the hanging baskets?
Yes,
I have a hanging basket with some lobelia and some petunias and some geranium, and I had it in the sun, in the afternoon sun, and it seemed like it got burned. So I moved it to the morning sun, but it's less, sun in the afternoon. Would that be better for it?
Well, you've got lobelia.
Let's see, this is what I got. I got geranium, calabraccia, petunias, and lobelia.
Okay. The geranium and the lobelia are definitely going to do better in the shade.
Okay.
But the others are going to do better in the sun.
Well, that's quite often that they mixed it all up, huh?
Yes, that happens a lot. So in your situation, morning sun, some afternoon shade should be perfect for all of them.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right, 776-5368 if you have any questions for Tim. And we got a few moments left. Somebody's going to win this beautiful geranium coming up. What should we be doing in the yard now? What the lawn? Fertilizer? Too hot? Too cold? Just
well,
right?
in our lawn care program, we're getting close to our step three. I believe of our lawn care program, which would be your summer fertilizer.
All right.
So the Fertilome Classic, we do that in the 1st of June.
Right.
And you want to get that down and get that lawn looking real good. It should be growing pretty good right now. We've got some great weather. I turned my sprinklers on this last week, so
I did too.
it's the ground's drying out, and it's time to get that going. And then be sure that you're not mowing too short. This is something I've been seeing lately a lot of, is people keeping that lawn real short. 3.5 inches should be where you're at with your grass.
Right.
That's going to keep that soil cooler, and it's not going to dry out so fast, so you can water less, and your lawn's going to stay a lot greener. So keep that lawn a little on the tall side.
All right. So anything else we should be going? Vegetables?
Vegetables, this is the time. So you want to get in the zucchinis and the cucumbers and things like that. Planting corn right now. Any of that stuff, you should be getting that veggie garden going. And there's a lot going on right now with that.
All right. Before we run out of time, draw a name.
Okay.
Somebody's going to win this beautiful geranium, and it is?
And it is Jennifer.
Jennifer, you're the winner today,
All right.
and we'll be getting a hold of you, Jennifer, for that beautiful geranium. Geraniums take full sun.
Yeah, most of the geraniums do. There are some that do better with some afternoon shade. I like to see the Martha Washingtons get a little bit of afternoon shade. I think the flowers are bigger and the foliage looks better. But the zonal geraniums, they like a lot of sun. Then there's ivy geraniums. Those are the ones in the hanging baskets. And if they're a single-flowered geranium, then they will do well in sun. If they're the double-flowered, double petals on the flowers, they got to have a little shade in the afternoon, or they don't do well at all. So there's a few differences with those.
All right, so we're getting some long roses now. They're coming out, and now it's time to cut those bad ones off.
Right.
How far down do you cut?
We go down to just above the second set of 5 leaflets. So you go down to where you see a leaf come out.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be 3 leaflets on that leaf.
Yeah.
You go down further, and you'll probably see 5.
Yeah.
You go below that and cut. Second set of 5 leaflets.
Second set of 5 leaflets.
Yeah, that is where that bud that's there is your most aggressive bud. So you cut that, and that bud will produce nice long stem roses.
These roses just boom, they came out, and they're beautiful, and they came out so fast. Now they're already, they've over bloomed and about ready to trim them off.
Right.
So second set of 5 leaflets.
Yes, just above that.
Okay, I think I got that.
All right.
All right. So you're open from when to when?
We're open 8 to 6 every day.
All right. And you got a lot of color?
Tons of stuff out there. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff.
What?
A couple
Something
of things
easy.
A couple of things that I like. The pincushion flowers are looking really good right now. They bloom all summer long. We just got some fresh calla lilies in. The nice shade-loving, colorful yellows and purples, beautiful plants. Of course, all the hydrangeas are going right now. The Easy Elegance roses are all in bloom right now, so tons of beautiful stuff.
Check it out, the Four Seasons Nursery. They're open from 8 to 6, 7 days a week, and family-owned and operated. They do a wonderful job. A lot of color out there and great advice. Thank you, Tim. See you next time.
All right, thank you.
And we'll see you next time on Focus Today.